Welcome, Class 11 Biology students. Today, we embark on an exciting journey into the microscopic world of biological classification. We'll explore some fascinating life forms that challenge our traditional definitions of living organisms, viruses, viroids, and lichens. We'll start with the basics, then delve deeper into their structures, mechanisms, and ecological roles. Get ready to expand your understanding of life's incredible diversity. Let's begin with the fundamental concepts of these unique entities. Understanding their basic nature is key to appreciating their complexity. First up are viruses. Imagine tiny particles, so small they can't even be seen with a light microscope. They are non-cellular, meaning they don't have the typical cell structure like bacteria or plants. Instead, a virus is essentially genetic material, either DNA or RNA, neatly packed inside a protective protein coat. They are obligate parasites, which means they absolutely need a living host cell to multiply. Outside a host, they are completely inert. Think of them as molecular hijackers. A common example you might know is the influenza virus, which causes the flu. Next, we have viroids. These are even simpler and smaller than viruses. A viroid consists of just a single, circular strand of RNA, and critically, it lacks the protein coat that viruses have. They are known primarily as plant pathogens, causing various diseases in crops. For instance, the potato spindle tuber viroid can severely affect potato plants. Lastly, lichens are a beautiful example of teamwork in nature. They are not a single organism, but a close, mutualistic partnership between an alga and a fungus. The alga performs photosynthesis, making food, while the fungus provides shelter, water, and minerals. They are often the first to colonize barren rocks, like the crusty lichens you might see on stones. Now, let's test your understanding with a few quick questions. Take a moment to think about the answers based on what we've just discussed. Which of these entities lacks a protein coat? What is the genetic material found in viroids? And what kind of relationship exists between the alga and fungus in a lichen? Pause here if you need more time to recall the details. Ready to dive a bit deeper? In this section, we'll explore the structures of these organisms in more detail, their discovery, and how they function. The discovery of viruses was a fascinating journey. D. Ivanovsky first recognized them as infectious agents smaller than bacteria in 1892. Later, M.W. Beijerinck described them as contagium vivum fluidum, an infectious living fluid. It wasn't until W.M. Stanley crystallized viruses that their protein nature became clear. Structurally, a virus has a core of genetic material, DNA or RNA, encased in a protein shell called a capsid. This capsid is made up of smaller units called capsomeres. The type of genetic material varies. Plant viruses often have single-stranded RNA, while bacteriophages, which infect bacteria, typically have double-stranded DNA. Moving on to viroids, their discovery by Theo Diner in 1971 was groundbreaking, revealing an infectious agent even simpler than a virus. Viroids are just a naked, circular RNA molecule, much smaller than any viral genome, and crucially, they do not produce any proteins. They primarily cause diseases in plants, such as the famous potato spindle tuber disease. Their mechanism involves interfering with the host plant's normal gene expression, disrupting its cellular processes. This highlights how a simple RNA molecule can have such a profound pathogenic effect without encoding any proteins. Lichens, on the other hand, showcase a remarkable symbiotic relationship. The algal partner, known as the phycobiont, is typically a green alga or a cyanobacterium. Its role is crucial. It performs photosynthesis, producing carbohydrates that nourish both itself and its fungal partner. The fungal partner, called the mycobiont, is usually an ascomycete or sometimes a basidiomycete. The fungus provides a protective environment, absorbing water and minerals from the surroundings, and shielding the delicate alga from harsh conditions like intense sunlight and desiccation. This mutualistic partnership allows lichens to thrive in environments where neither organism could survive alone, making them true ecological pioneers. Let's check your understanding again with these medium-level questions. Consider the scientists involved in viral discovery, the key structural difference between viruses and viroids, and the specific roles of the algal and fungal components in a lichen. Think about the types of genetic material found in different viruses. Take your time to formulate your answers, recalling the details we've just covered. Now, let's step up the challenge. We'll explore the deeper classifications, mechanisms, and ecological impacts. Viruses exhibit incredible diversity in their genetic material, ranging from double-stranded DNA in adenoviruses to single-stranded RNA in HIV, a retrovirus that uses reverse transcriptase. Their replication strategies, whether lytic or lysogenic, determine how they interact with and ultimately affect host cells. Viruses cause a wide array of human diseases, including mumps, smallpox, and AIDS, and also devastate plant crops. On the other hand, viroids, with their naked RNA, cause disease by disrupting host gene regulation, primarily through RNA silencing pathways, which interfere with normal plant development. This molecular interference is a key aspect of their pathogenicity. Lichens are not just fascinating partnerships, they play a critical ecological role. They are renowned as bioindicators of air pollution, especially sulfur dioxide. Their sensitivity means their presence or absence can signal the health of an ecosystem. Furthermore, lichens are vital pioneer species, colonizing barren rocks and initiating soil formation through chemical weathering. Morphologically, lichens are classified into three main types: crustose, which are flat and crust-like, foliose, which are leaf-like, and fruticose, which are shrub-like and branched. Each form represents an adaptation to different environmental niches and contributes uniquely to their habitats. To fully appreciate these entities, it's useful to compare them with another simple infectious agent, prions. Prions are even simpler than viroids, being infectious protein particles without any nucleic acid. They cause devastating neurodegenerative diseases by inducing normal host proteins to misfold. This comparison highlights a spectrum of infectious agents, from complex viruses with both nucleic acid and protein, to viroids with just RNA, and finally to prions with just protein. This demonstrates the minimal requirements for infectivity and challenges our traditional understanding of life and disease causation. Time for some hard-level questions. These require a deeper understanding and analytical thinking. Consider the specific types of genetic material in different viruses, the molecular mechanism of viroid pathogenicity, and the ecological significance of lichens as bioindicators and pioneer species. Also, think about the fundamental differences between viruses, viroids, and prions. Challenge yourself to articulate comprehensive answers. Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we'll delve into the most intricate details, competitive exam insights, and the cutting-edge applications of these fascinating biological entities. Viruses display remarkable molecular architecture, with capsids exhibiting helical, icosahedral, or complex symmetries, each optimized for host interaction. The presence or absence of a lipid envelope derived from the host cell further dictates their entry mechanisms and immune evasion strategies. This intricate structural design underpins their high host specificity, where viral surface proteins precisely bind to specific host cell receptors, a lock and key mechanism that determines which cells or species a virus can infect. This precision is crucial for understanding viral pathogenesis and developing antiviral therapies. Viroid replication is a testament to minimalist biology. These tiny RNAs exploit the host's own cellular machinery, specifically the DNA-dependent RNA polymerase, to replicate via a rolling circle mechanism. The resulting multimeric RNA strands are then processed and ligated into mature circular viroids. Their pathogenicity is fundamentally linked to the host's RNA interference, or RNAi, pathway. Viroid RNA is recognized by host dicer enzymes, generating small interfering RNAs, siRNAs, that guide the RISC complex to target and degrade essential host mRNAs, thereby disrupting vital cellular processes and causing disease symptoms. This interference with gene expression is a sophisticated molecular battle. Lichens exemplify a highly coevolved symbiosis. The fungal partner, often from Ascomycetes, forms specialized structures like Hostoria that intimately associate with the algal cells, facilitating efficient nutrient transfer. Reproduction in lichens is diverse. Sexual reproduction involves fungal spores, requiring a chance encounter with a suitable alga, while asexual methods like fragmentation, soredia, podery packets of algal cells and fungal hyphae, and isidia, finger-like projections, ensure efficient dispersal of the established partnership. The distinct layered anatomy of the lichen thallus, with its upper cortex, algal layer, medulla, and lower cortex, further optimizes this complex biological interaction, allowing for survival in extreme conditions. The study of these acellular forms has profound engineering and applied biological implications. Viruses are ingeniously engineered as vectors in gene therapy, delivering therapeutic genes to combat genetic diseases and cancers, leveraging their natural ability to infect and integrate genetic material. Bacteriophages are emerging as powerful antimicrobials in phage therapy, offering a targeted solution to antibiotic-resistant bacterial infections. Furthermore, lichens serve as unparalleled biomonitors for environmental pollutants, including heavy metals and radioactive isotopes, due to their unique absorption characteristics. Historically, they've also been used in ethnobotany for dyes and traditional medicines, showcasing their versatile utility from the microscopic to the macroscopic world. Now, for the first 5 challenging questions at the hardest level. These questions require you to synthesize information, apply concepts, and think critically. Consider the specific mechanisms of viral host specificity, the molecular processes of viroid replication and pathogenicity, and the specialized reproductive structures of lichens. Take your time, analyze each question, and formulate comprehensive, detailed answers that demonstrate your in-depth understanding. Here are the final 5 questions, pushing your knowledge and analytical skills even further. Reflect on the engineering applications of viruses in gene therapy, the potential of bacteriophages as antimicrobials, and the diverse applications of lichens in biomonitoring and ethnobotany. Think about the evolutionary significance of these unique forms and how they challenge traditional biological classifications. This is your chance to showcase a truly deep understanding of viruses, viroids, and lichens. And that concludes our in-depth exploration of viruses, viroids, and lichens. We've journeyed from basic definitions to complex molecular mechanisms and real-world applications. I hope this session has ignited your curiosity and deepened your understanding of these fascinating entities in the biological world. For more such engaging and comprehensive educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for continuous learning and updates. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.